Baby boy, everybody know me.
So what's your best punch?
The one that lands.
That's what I like.
Big G told me it's gonna be a blowout.
He just sent me a text. Said you can call me right now while I'm driving.
Let's don't wait. Let's don't wait. Put him right there on the speaker.
Hello?
Coach Glass, man, congratulations. Congratulations. Man, I know you all smiles right now. Hey, with Coach Glass, I'm gonna pass you over here to Danny Hipp. And man, once again, congratulations. We're all ecstatic here for you.
I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all.
All right.
Hey, good morning, Coach Glass. Appreciate you jumping on here with us today.
Morning, sir. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So a game last night, man. I mean, we watched it. We listened to it. We watched it. It was maybe one of the more physical games that I've seen all year. Two really great football teams, and you know, somebody had to lose, and I'm glad it wasn't you. And I will tell you, yeah, I guarantee it. So I was telling Dennis this morning, I was watching at halftime as you were going off the field. It's been a very, very physical football game in the first half. And I don't know that, you know, I think your team's in fine shape. I think they're all great athletes, but it had to be a little wear and tear on them a little bit. How did you approach that at halftime?
Yeah, well, I kind of challenged our defense at halftime. You know, when you put things into perspective, we gave up 26 points to a team that averages 49, 50 points a game. I just didn't feel like we were tackling real well. But they had a different look in the locker room at halftime than I've seen them have all year long. Kind of a beat down look, more of a, like you could just tell the physical part of the game had been wearing on them a little bit. And, you know, I kind of got in them pretty good, and I sat back and I walked outside for a second to kind of get my thoughts in. I thought, you know what, I need to get our seniors involved. So I went back in and talked to our seniors. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to let our seniors handle it. I told them and challenged them, and I made all the coaches leave the locker room and let our seniors talk. And, you know, I kind of sat outside and could hear some of the things they were saying. And so I went back in and kind of made a little joke to kind of, you know, lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah, loosen them up.
They went back out and handled business.
Hey, I tell you what, that second half, it was just as physical. And, you know, I can't even imagine on your side with all the strategy that's going back and forth. The game really, it was an ebb and flow on both sides, kind of a slower pace in that third period. But, man, the fourth period, what I would like to hear about is, all right, you're all tied up or you got the ball with a chance to win. How did your team feel from there?
I mean, when we got the ball back tied up with 2 minutes and something to go, I knew we had it.
I like it. I have
a ton of trust in Brady Stover, ton of trust in Coach Natoli and our offensive staff. You know, Coach Natoli. People don't realize the unsung hero of this season is Mike Natoli and our offensive staff. I mean, he has done a great job of preparing our kids and preparing our staff and preparing Brady. And like I said, I can't say enough about that guy. I mean, we are not here without him.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. But I tell you, you had so many people participating and stepping up to a higher level last night. Big plays in the secondary, big plays from your running backs, your quarterback. Where I was at when you got that ball with like 2 minutes and 3 seconds or something to go in the game, I was wondering, do they have enough gas up front with those big men to hold the play, to be able to pass, to create a hole, to make that? And, man, did they ring the bell or what?
Oh, yeah. I mean, our offensive line, like I said, you know, we're small. They put a story out about, you know, how small our offensive line was and everything else. And that doesn't bother me at all. Our kids are absolute animals up front. They play tirelessly. Henry Pitts, our left tackle, didn't come off the field all night except for 1 or 2 special teams plays. And he starts at defensive end and an offensive tackle and had to block big number 9 all night. That linebacker they had that was, I don't know, he might have been 30 years old. He was huge. You know, and then to turn around and have to you know, get hit and beat on by 65 and 56, the pullers they had. You know, so, and then, you know, got kids like Aiden Hobus, who's 175 pounds soaking wet and actually played for me at Lincolnton as a wide receiver as a freshman. He weighed about 120 pounds. and he actually put on 20 pounds of muscle this summer and over time to bulk up for this season. So our little guys up front, they get after it.
There's a lot of plays that they had a pretty solid running game and passing game as well. And so a lot of times running backs from 71st were able to get through that front line. But your secondary really stepped up. They had some, you talk about the weight and size difference on the line. So when those guys make it through that line, your cornerbacks and your safeties and those guys, they had a big task. But I really think that, throughout the game, there were several plays that was, one broken tackle away from a touchdown, and they stepped up all night as well.
Yeah, we didn't tackle real well all night, and that was really the biggest challenge. We were just coming in trying to deliver kill shots instead of wrapping up and holding on for dear life. And going back and thinking about it, you have time to really, when you're in the moment, you're like tackle. But I don't know what I would have done if I am trying to form tackle and they're dragging me for 7 yards. They were just, I'm telling you, most physical all year, especially when they ran the ball. They were just so big, so physical, and we were undersized. And but we normally had, when we did play well, we had 6 or 7 guys, hanging on. And we might have got drugged for about 3 or 4 yards, but we found a way to see it through.
Yeah, and a lot of times games like this, it comes down to mistakes or penalties or turnovers. And last night's game, there was only one turnover in the entire game, and that was the one you needed the most.
Yeah, I talked about that in that other interview with Will Prince. He had a rough game. He came in, missed a few tackles, and things like that. And the series before, I really lit into him, right on the sideline. He kind of went back at me a little bit, and I went back at him again and went down and had that last series. And I said, he comes to me and he goes, "Coach, I got you. I promise. I got you." I said, "All right, well, please get me then." And he comes up with that big interception at the end. So
hey, he got you, Coach.
he did. This is a kid that, when 2 years ago, we moved him to safety, and he really was struggling and wasn't getting a lot of playing time because he wasn't wanting to come downhill and be physical. And he just took it upon himself, said, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
He started doing it, came in and figured it out. And he had a great year for us.
Yeah, and that'll be a lifetime memory for him. For him and a lot of those guys, Hickory is a very engaged community. You had a tremendous crowd there last night. I know a lot of those folks. I've seen some interviews during the season, and then also this week with some chatter from the 96 team and folks wanting to return that 88. From that team and wanting to see Hickory back at that level. And you got them there, Coach. You and your coaching staff have done a tremendous job. But what kind of support have you had from the community?
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's been like that from day one. Our booster club's unbelievable. Just the community outpouring of supported games, and if we ever need anything, they're there. And our parents are absolutely great. We don't hurt for anything. These boys don't hurt for anything when it comes to stuff that they need, and that could be from a pair of cleats to a meal. So our parents in our community are top notch. I've had great parents in the past, but our community and our parents is the best I've ever had. This is year 23 for me, so they're unbelievable.
Yeah, so, Coach, I've been holding on to a story all year, and I really wasn't sure if I was ever going to tell anybody about it. Well, I got you here today. It was in the middle of the season somewhere, and you had told me about all the athletes and all that stuff. And sometimes you can have great athletes, but you also work on them being great people. And so one day I was had to do some stuff around Hickory, and it was a Thursday afternoon. You all had a light practice or a short practice, and I thought, well, before I go home, I'm going to run by Village Inn Pizza up here on 127. They got that good salad bar, that buffet, all that stuff. I was like, I'm about to put a hurt on that. So I'm in line up there, and there's 7 or 8 of your football players ahead of me. So every one of them go up, pay for their stuff. They all get the buffet. They're yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you so much. They got mannerisms of just great raising. I think that comes from a community and the household both. But the bad thing about that was, man, they ate every pizza out there before it came out. It was bad. So I will tell you must have been working them good because they eat good. I can tell you that right now. They wore it out. Wore it out. But they really represented themselves, your football team, and their hunger very well.
Yeah, that's a great for kids. I mean, people don't realize, Hickory gets a bad rap. That Hickory's this and Hickory's that. They have no idea. I tell people all the time, like, I would have no problem whatsoever putting my kids right there in school with me. They talk, like I said, Hickory High School gets a bad rap. We've got this and we've got that and everything else. I mean, I leave my keys in my car every day and wallet sitting on my front seat. Not one time's it been touched.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know exactly what you mean.
People have no idea how great of a school Hickory High School is. Every school's got its issues and everything else, but I mean, it's an unbelievable school and an unbelievable administration from the top all the way down.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I think that's a good reflection of those kids, their parents, that community, and in particular, Coach, your coaching staff. I'm gonna hand it off to Dennis. I think he's got a few things to ask.
Hey, Coach Glass, I remember at the season, first of the season, you told us, this is your best team you've ever coached, and obviously, it is to go 15-0 and win a state championship.
16, ain't it?
It's 16.
16.
Yeah, get him, Coach Glass. 16-0. That last one was the main one.
Yeah, the last one was the main one. But Coach, I've always said, and I remember I've asked this question plenty of times to Danny and other my friends. Like, I've always wondered why Hickory, as big as the city of Hickory, they ought to have more state championships. But I've always said though, players make coaches, but coaches put kids in great positions. And I tell you what, they got a heck of a coach at Hickory right now, and coach and yourself, and it proved it to win a state championship since 1998.
I really think it comes down to, I've got 10 assistants that do a great job. I talk about Coach Coffey and people like that. I mean, they do a great job. They love on our kids. They take a lot off of me. Not one person can do anything by themselves. And our assistants are unbelievable. I mean, we've got state championship assistants. Coach Natoli, this is his third state championship. This is Coach Riddle's second state championship. It's Coach Hop's second state championship. We've just got really good guys that love our kids and love the game. And I try not to work them too hard. But they do a great job. And I think that's the difference. And I don't care who you get. You can get Nick Saban in here, but if he doesn't have great assistants to follow out the plan that you have, you're not going to be very good.
Yeah,
so, that goes all back on our assistants and our administration for hiring. Coach Kraft, Miss Tuttle, for them to, when I bring somebody to them and they say, okay, you want them? You sure? And I'm like, yep, sure do. And then they hire.
Yeah.
For them to have the trust in me to do that and things like that it makes the biggest difference in the world.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. Who we got? Nicole, who you got? Super Bowl pick.
Chiefs and Eagles again.
Oh, Nicole, I like Nicole. He said Chiefs and the Eagles. Hey, Flip laughing back there. That's all right. He don't hear nobody saying Dallas, does he, Nicole? Who you got, young man?
Chiefs and Eagles.
Oh, I like these young boys. Who's your daddy? Who's your parent? Oh, I like that. Chiefs and Eagles. Hey, they said same rematch. You like football? Steve Henry, let's go to Steve Henry before we go over here. Steve Henry, come over here. Meet me halfway. Super Bowl picks. It's
going to be Baltimore and Dallas.
Baltimore and Dallas. Steve Henry said Baltimore and Dallas. Oh. Steve said Baltimore and Dallas. Hey, it could be. Oh, is Steve a Dallas fan? All right. Who you got, Robert?
You already know who I got. San Fran, all the way. I don't care who else there.
He said Robert said the whole AFC. The whole AFC. Okay, Robert said San Fran. San Fran said, Robert said San Fran against everybody. Who you got, young man?
Roll with the uncle over there.
Baltimore and Dallas. You a Dallas fan? All right. Sherrod.
Niners and what? Yes. And the boys out of Buffalo.
Niners and Buffalo. That was my pick. Niners and Buffalo. Hold on a second.
Chiefs and Dallas.
Chiefs and Dallas game. That might not be a good Super Bowl. That might be a blowout. Okay, who you got?
I'm going to go San Fran and Baltimore.
Oh, hey, that's a Monday night game this week. That's Christmas. Yeah. Yeah. Who you got? Okay, my man said he don't care. So just say Eagles. That's all you can say. Eagles. Who you got?
Baltimore or Philly or San Fran.
Okay, I like that. Okay, I like that. Flip. Please don't say it. Please don't say it. Just think, be smart now.
Baltimore and Dallas.
Oh, man. Baltimore and Dallas.
San Fran and Baltimore.
San Fran and Baltimore. San Fran and Baltimore. Eagles, you say Eagles? Oh, okay, he said, baby boy, your son said Eagles in the Super Bowl. I'm just telling you what he said.
Dallas against the world.
Oh, he said Dallas against anybody. Don't matter who they play. So Dallas again. Desmond, you gonna talk now? Okay.
Hi, we're back right now, back here at Flips Barbershop with Real Sports Talk, and on top of that, right now we got a special guest, and it's Real Food Talk, I think. So we have the owner of Depot Deli, which is in North Newton. It's a great place to eat. I frequent there often, and I've never had anything bad there for sure. We appreciate the owner coming out with us today. We're going to spend a little time about that. How about introducing yourself to the folks?
My name's Tito Iriarte, 1148 North Main Avenue, Newton. I want to start out by thanking you guys. I want to thank my good buddy Flip for inviting me out. Flip's a real special person to me, man. It's great people. We're fortunate to have guys like him in our community and business owners that care about the community and want to promote local.
Hey, we like local, and I want to ask a couple questions on that. Whenever you are looking out for your business, how much of that is local, or how much of that do you get from folks coming in? But it's really imperative to have the support of the local community.
Absolutely, we're all about supporting local, and when my wife and I started this thing, we wanted to do our best to support local. We get our beef and pork. We get it from our good buddy Aaron Bergen at the Farmer's Freezer.
Yeah, we love Aaron Bergen.
Aaron Bergen is a
Blue Devil.
A Blue Devil.
That's right.
Shout out to my boy Aaron Bergen. He's got a lot of great things going. He owns Farmer's Freezer. It's a local farm network where they get their beef and pork here locally. It makes a difference, folks. It
does. He supports a lot of different restaurants in this area, and that's farm-fed, grain-fed beef, and it's
right.
top notch.
Right here in Mountain View. So shout out to the Farmer's Freezer, Aaron Bergen. We get our produce. We try to get our produce over here at Burton Farms. We do our best to source everything as local as possible.
Yeah, that's good. That money stays in the community that way.
That's exactly right. These big chain stores, they're not supporting ball teams. They're not your neighbors. So we try, like I said, to support local, and the quality is much better.
It is, and the other piece I like is that you took a building that was maybe left to die, and you remodeled that building. You made something beautiful out of it, and not just the food. Talk about some of the activities that you do out there, the summer series, concert series, those kind of things. Talk about some of the other things that you have going on there.
Thank you very much. That building was my wife bought it back in 2011, and it was pretty run down, and she bless her heart, she worked her butt off and got that thing up to speed, and she had a tattoo shop in there for a little while. And then and she shut that down, and then when me and her got together, we decided we want to do something. Well, we thought to ourselves, what does Newton need? And Newton, I said, Newton needs a good place where I can get a sandwich, a cold beer, and a place where I can come let my kids and dogs run around, and we have a nice outdoor green space out there where it's a great spot for families to come and enjoy. You can bring your pet. One of the good things about this whole adventure my wife and I went on is we were able to do some fundraising and give back to the community a little bit. This is our second year of doing these fundraisers, and we did one for the backpack program, which provides food for less fortunate kids for them to take home, and we've raised in the last 2 years for the backpack program close to $10,000
Hey, that's awesome.
worth of food
That's awesome.
and cash donations. So,
So I'm gonna tell you one of the things that I don't like about Depot Deli. It's the only thing. The only thing I don't like is everything on the menu is so good. It is really torturing to figure out what you're going to pick to eat. I want to know your top 1 or 2, 3 sales that you get. Which one of these great sandwiches that you get here?
man, it's a tough one. Our beef sandwiches, our cowcatcher beef sandwich is a big seller. Like I said, we get that beef from the farmer's freezer, locally sourced, and it's a big one. Along with our
you ain't just saying that because that's Dan's favorite, is it?
no, I'm telling you the truth. Our steam engine Italian is huge seller. Everybody loves the Italian. We've had several people, even from up north, come down here and say it's the best Italian sandwich they've had. So our steam engine Italian is something special. If you like a good Italian sandwich, I'm telling you.
Look, I grew up as a poor, lonely little white kid, and for me, it's that fried bologna. You know which one? That's the Whistle Stop.
The Whistle Stop.
Hey, it's got that thick fried bologna on that.
Yes, sir. That thick fried bologna goes hard. And another thing that we focus on is the bread.
Yeah, fresh.
The fresh baked bread, that's a must, you know. And we use real butter and a special blend of herbs and spices we put on there, and it's something special.
Hey, we're certainly glad to have you today. I know that we got some other guests that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a few little sports, but we certainly appreciate all the things that you do within the community and in the sports community as well. Wish you and your wife and your entire family continued successes in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. I'd like to give one more thing. On September the 30th, this month at Depot Deli, we're having a fundraiser for Wood for Warriors. That's another Aaron Bergen project. They supply free firewood to local veterans. And come on out, 6 p.m. The band's going to start. We're going to open the gates at 5. Be selling barbecue plates. We got some great music. It's for a great cause. Come out and support Wood for Warriors. Follow us on our Facebook page for all the information. And thank you guys for having me, man.
We're glad to have you, man.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Flip. I know you're watching, buddy. We missed you.
Hey, and let me just tell everybody out there something else. If you'd like to be on this podcast or you'd like to have your business name on this podcast, we can hook you right up. We have a lot of different advertisement options. We can put you on the flip side breaks coming to or going out of, and then we can also put you on the midsection breaks, and we can advertise and we can work with you directly to put some videos or some other things that you'd like to have on that. Just reach out to us. We've got options and we've got packages. So right quick, we'll take another real quick break and we'll be back with some sports talk.
Thank y'all so much.
All right, catch you on the flip side.
Yes, sir.
And we got him here right now, Jeremy Hit 'em Holloway. Danny?
Hey, we're glad to have you here today. Tell us a little bit about your story and about your journey so far.
So far, the journey's been pretty good. You know, it's been ups and downs, of course, with any other story. But so far, the ups have outweighed the downs. You know, we've been at it now 16 weeks. We just had the first one back in August out in New Mexico. Didn't get the decision that I felt like I deserved because the fight ended in a draw. But we left with some positive notes, you know, left with some good energy, and, you know, they brought me right back. So.
Yeah, so that trip to New Mexico and that fight there compared to Columbia, South Carolina, that's going to be a big difference because the elevation in New Mexico is huge. But I will tell you now, that elevation takes a lot of air out of you. Do you feel anything different out there fighting in New Mexico at those higher elevations?
Oh, definitely. I definitely felt that. I was telling my coach when I came back in and we were going out for the 5th round, I was like, man, I can't breathe. Like my lungs were physically on fire. I kind of took that round off, but again, I thought I had the other 4 in the bag, so I was just good to make it out.
Yeah, so I don't know if people remember, and I'm not a fan of them, but I was pulling for them on this time. Coach Jim Valvano took his team out to Albuquerque, New Mexico early for some of their NCAA basketball tournament stuff, and it has a tremendous impact. So who's your opponent coming up?
My opponent coming up is Cameron Van Camp. He's out of Indiana. Not sure where he fights out of. He just had his last 2 fights in the UFC. Granted, he lost by knockout, but a UFC veteran nevertheless, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be a game opponent.
Yeah, so tell us on those fights right there, what's your repetition or what's your game plan for training to prepare yourself for that?
For him, he's a bit taller. You know, he's think longer. Maybe we have the same reach, but the game plan doesn't really change. The game plan is to be first. You know, execute anything that I see openings and exploit them, and then this time, try to step on the gas a little more. Take advantage of the things that I neglected the last fight.
So just to make sure our listeners can understand that, bare knuckles, is it the exact same rules as boxing, just without gloves?
Yes, sir.
All right, there you go. Then you got some
no kicking, right? No kicking allowed.
Feet on the ground, feet on the ground.
No. Now, if they kick, I mean, it'd be voluntary.
Yeah. You're saying it could happen, but
it
it's not
could
supposed
happen. You know.
So what's your best punch? Which one is your money maker?
The one that lands.
The one that lands. That's what I like.
Great.
I like it.
My dad loved watching Antoine